Icon here from the Foundation server, coming to you with a Scopely exposed video. This has been a long time coming. I've been umming and ahhing about it, but I think this is a good opportune time. So a lot of us kind of knew about this, and a lot of us woke up to say, what is this? Basically, people woke up seeing that Scopely is demonizing and saying people are exploiting their a game and basically using it egregiously to their own benefit and all that. What is it that they're talking about exactly? Well, let me walk you through it. So a lot of people went to refine and they realized that they were able to just keep refining. It locked sometimes after 5, sometimes after 10. So initially we were all kind of just sitting around going, is this part of an event? Did they forget to turn the event on? What exactly is happening? They're not exactly smooth sailing and streamlined in terms of release and telling us about upcoming stuff. So, what exactly was it that we missed here? Or is it just a plain oversight, a plain bug that happened? We don't know. So a lot of people refined everything they had. Some people refined over 24 million of G3 resources that they had, some more, some less. And to tell you the truth, Scopely responded by basically, saying that they demonized all these people, saying that everyone out there that did this is just exploited their system. I mean, this is not the players' faults. It's something that they messed up on. So I don't see why blame the players. And you know what? Players that were able to just go ahead and spend it all got to keep all of this, because Scopely's response was to ban everyone and just, really demonize it and then say, right, anyone who didn't, exploit us got a reward. So people that just kind of woke up and realized that they can just go to their loyalty chest, and they had all these directive and officer blueprints and faction credits. That's amazing. But a lot of people just used it all up to upgrade their ships, their buildings, whatever they wanted, because guess what? You get to keep this. But this isn't new to us. I mean, Foundation server, we've been around for a while. We used to have these events, QA test player events. I mean, you look at this. This was every 15 minutes. You can complete all of these. You didn't really need. It was like high-end rewards. Imagine the biggest amount of rewards you can possibly get every 15 minutes from multiple events over and over. Shields, officers, blueprints, uncommon. This happened in August. There you go. It's August 2018. If you just so happen to be online, right? So, of course, some of us are spending thousands and thousands. Some of us are not spending at all. So there is a mixed bag. But those of us spending, well, guess what? Someone with a 2 million enterprise might have paid 4 or 5 or 10 times more than this other guy, because he just happened to be lucky to go through something like this. So we had these continuous QA tests that maybe went on for 3-4 hours, and I think it happened twice, and then it happened again for shields, and I'll take you through that in a minute. But basically what all this did was allow you to get stuff like this maybe out of 4 or 5 events every 15 minutes. So you basically unlocked what you needed. And back then, there were actually a lower barrier to entry for Kirk and everything else. I think a lot of us made about 20,000-30,000 Latinum. We made hundreds, if not more, in Federation faction credits. People ask, how the heck are all these people getting the Enterprise? Well, here you go. So not everyone paid for it. So you got parts like crazy, you got everything you really needed. Now, the same thing happened with shields. So if you happened to be online and you went through this QA test piece shields, you basically were able to say, great, I'm just going to get myself, 10, 20, 30 years worth of shields. So basically people went ahead and got all these shields, which you have to remember a lot of people are actually paying for now. So this is a video taken, I think it was last week. So you can see that people still got to keep a lot of their shields. Of course, people got granted resources. So this particular player, again from the Rogue Alliance, which is our enemy in game, so I do take a stab whenever I can. It can be subjective, but not about our enemies in game. But no, seriously, they got compensated incredible amounts of resources. So I think it started at between 8 and 10 billion in Tritanium. So of course, people that would have spent on an Enterprise, God knows how much, these guys can just go ahead and they had their tens of thousands, if not over, I think it was like over 200,000 in G3 uncommons, ship parts, and Tritanium, Parsteel, and Dilithium. So they basically just compensated this based on what the level of their operations was during the merge. A lot of us spent thousands as well, but we focused on ships and research. So I was, say, third strongest on the server. Now I'm 36th because I didn't have a high enough ups level. So effectively, you're not being compensated for any of the cash you had for anything that you had put your hard-earned cash into. So, basically it completely tipped the server upside down in terms of balance. So that's why I kind of, I had like a mini rage period yesterday when I saw the news thing coming out saying that, this is to avoid balance. I'm like, balance? I mean, come on, guys. Like, this is, we're way past balance. Everyone's just in for themselves now, just trying to make do with what they got given. Some people are free to play and they got billions and billions in titanium. Here's someone else with a 96 30-day shields and 7-day 95. I think I was like trying to, there you go, that's how many days. And I was trying to calculate it all at what point, and then I thought, oh, maybe, you know what, it's every 10 years. I don't think it matters anymore. So if you want a holiday, pop one of these 30-day shields on. If you weren't lucky enough to get it, well, you're going to have to buy a $150 pack or whatever it is to do that. So beyond all that, I guess we should talk about what happened when we did report, all these kind of situations going into what happened when we did report it to support, because a lot of people did ask, well, what did support say about this? So I was one of the people that did say, look, people are reporting that they got these shields, and believe it or not, support actually looked at it and reviewed it, and they were very nice about it. I mean, they discussed it with us and actually said, don't worry, we will be taking all these shields away from people because it is imbalancing the entire system. But guess what? I last week checked with about 4 or 5 players and they all had the shields still there. So they might have removed, I don't know, a couple of people. Maybe they just can't find them or they don't know who actually got these shields. I guess because it was a lot of QA tests in quick succession. But the rest of us kind of went to say, well, maybe because is it still beta or is this full release? We didn't know. We were always told it was full. Scopely always told us it was full. Until we saw this post on 1st of November saying that they were currently in beta and that they were going to release soon, which I think was a slip up because they very quickly deleted that, but not before everyone got wind of it. So effectively what happened is there was a complete imbalance to the server. People weren't compensated what they paid for, and that's why we're seeing a lot of these things about the whole class action and all that. I don't know what's happening with that, and I'm not part of it, but I am definitely very curious to know what happens there. To add insult to injury, there were more people, again from this Rogue Alliance, which basically were teaching everyone how to get their money back. And, people saying, look, we know people with thousands that have basically gone and said, these kind of bugs have imbalanced the system and it's not being balanced. And I obviously paid for one thing, it's been devalued, or I'm not getting what I paid for, so I want my money back. And a lot of people got their money back. Of course, they're still playing, this particular player isn't, but but a lot of them did get their money back. So it is very interesting to see how all the the history and everything, where it came from, and the balance of the server, which I know is a big effort, and it's something that Scopely is trying really hard to maintain now, but there's a lot of people that were disadvantaged and are still kind of a little bit, it's left a bad taste in your mouth, obviously. And it's something that's going to be with us for quite some time. So we have to keep that in mind, because this refinery thing, the QA test before, all these people getting their money back, there's all these moving parts, but I don't see as many positive ones. I see a lot of negative attention, which I'm not saying I'm only focusing on the negative. I'd love to focus on some of the positives. I don't know what they are. Message me if you do know. I mean, I've asked for comment from Scopely contacts. I'm always kind of out there just trying to see, what it is that is happening, and, keeping my ear close to the ground. But, a lot of people that are unfairly advantaged end up, getting these resources and, taking advantage of others on the server, raiding them, and basically causing chaos. So with that in mind, message me. I'm keen to know people's feedback, and I want to know what people think of all these things that have happened in the past and happen on some servers and not others. As always, please do subscribe. Subscriptions really help. I'm trying to get myself to 1,000 subscribers and then start some giveaways. So let's see how that goes, but please do subscribe.